كَمَا تَدِينُ تُدَانُ. These are words we need to understand and accept. We ask ourselves right now, am I leading a life of example for my child? That's one thing. Leading a life of an exemplary life for our children. For them to see, okay, my father, my family member, he is connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why don't I? It will come. It's a slow process. If we look at the Quran and we look at the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it does not teach us about parenting. It does not teach us how to raise our children. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, he has said that do not raise your children as your father raised you. Do not raise your children the same way your father raised you. Every generation is different. We need to understand the generation we're living in. We need to understand how our society works, and then only will we be able to raise our children in the correct manner. Now, these 2 weeks, they can be a very crucial 2 weeks in the lives of our children. What can we do to teach our children about Islam in these 2 weeks? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He revealed a verse to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And He said, وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ. That whatever we have revealed to you regarding the previous messengers is for a reason. It's for a purpose. It will do something. مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ. It will make your heart steadfast and it will give your heart comfort. Under the commentary of this verse, the scholars, they write, دَلَّ أَنَّ لِقِصَصِ الْمَقْبُولِينَ تَأْثِيرًا فِي الْقَلْبِ تَقْوِيَةً وَتَثْبِيتًا وَتَنْشِيطًا. That from this verse we understand that by reading about the life of exemplary people, people who led by example, such as scholars of hadith, scholars of tafsir, the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and other messengers, it has an effect on our hearts. And they take this from the verse وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is informing Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam regarding the stories of the previous messengers for the same reason. So to teach our children, we need to create that atmosphere. The least we can do is 10-15 minutes a day. Sit with our children. Read Hayatul Sahaba, the lives of the Sahaba, the lives of the messengers. Teach them. Show them what these pious people did. Take an interest in the life of our children. Right? We often hear the very famous saying in our society, be friends with your children. It's not necessary that you're a friend of your child, but at least be friendly with your children. Have meaningful conversations with them. Then only will they appreciate you. Once they appreciate you and they see that you're living a life of example, you're performing your salah on time, you're attending the masjid, you're staying away from haram, you're staying away from the doubtful, inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you also. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also protect your children. But we start now. These 2 weeks can be very crucial. Who knows? Well, we do know. what our children are being taught in school, what they're being taught outside. We need to counter it in our own homes and teach our children about Islam. Teach them what it means to be a Muslim. Not just by word of mouth. Practically teach them. Now, that was a direct message for parents and guardians. Now this next one is not only for parents and guardians, it's for the youngsters also. For the parents, show interest in the friends of your children. And for the youngsters, choose your friends wisely. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, Al-mar'u ala dini khalili, falyanzur nas may yukhalil. That man will be on the religion or on the way of his friend. So each and every one should ponder and think about who he befriends. This is why it's very important for the parents to know who the friends of their children are. It is very important for our youngsters to know that we only befriend people who will benefit us. Now, inshallah, I'll try to finish by time, but I want to read a few things mentioned by Imam Ghazali in his Bidayatul Hidayah, beginning of guidance, when it comes to choosing friends. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, he mentions 5 things that you should look for in a friend. The first one he mentions is al-aqlu, intellect. He mentions فَلَا خَيْرَ فِي صُحْبَةِ الْأَحْمَقِ. There's no goodness in befriending an ignorant, a stupid person. He says that those friends will only take you and it will lead to estrangement and breaking off relationships. And then he also mentions something very important. وَقَدْ يَضُرُّكَ وَهُوَ يُرِيدُ أَن يَنْفَعَكَ. He might harm you even if he wants to give you benefit. And then he says, وَالْعَدُوُّ الْعَاقِلُ خَيْرٌ مِنَ الصَّدِيقِ الْأَحْمَقِ. These are words to live by and remember, not just for the youngsters, for everyone. He says an intelligent enemy is better than an ignorant friend. And then Imam Ghazali, he mentions a poem. He says, وَلَا تَصْحَبْ أَخَ الْجَهْلِ وَإِيَّاكَ وَإِيَّاهُ فَكَمْ مِنْ جَاهِلٍ أَرْدَى هَلِيمًا حِينَ وَاخَاهُ يُقَاسُ الْمَرْءُ بِالْمَرْءِ إِذَا مَا هُوَ مَا شَاهُ وَلِلشَّيْءِ مِنَ الشَّيْءِ مَقَايِيسٌ وَأَشْبَاهُ وَلِلْقَلْبِ عَلَى الْقَلْبِ دَلِيلٌ حِينَ يَلْقَاهُ. Imam Ghazali, he mentions a poem of Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, he says, do not befriend an ignorant person. Let both you and him beware. For how many ignorant has brought to ruin a gentle, forbearing man when he befriended him. A person is measured by the company he keeps. A person is measured by the company he keeps. We often hear the English saying, you are who your friends are. We get that from the hadith, al-mar'u ala dini khalili. That man is on the way of his friends. You are who your friends are. So choose your friends wisely. Then he goes on to say, everything is evaluated by comparison to its peer. You might be the best man on the face of the earth. You might be the best person. But if you're in the wrong crowd, unfortunately, it is what it is. this person is so and so, this person must also do this. You're measured by who your friends are. So choose your friends wisely. Inshallah, I should finish in 2 minutes. Now, the second thing that Imam Ghazali mentions when he says, when you're looking for a friend, look for one who has good character. And then he mentions the saying of Alqama al-Utaridi, rahimahullah, who gave his son a few parting words when he was on his deathbed. He said, Ya bunayya idha aradta an tashaba insanan fashab man idha khadamtahu sanak wa idha sahibtahu zanak وَإِذَا قَعَدْتَ بِكَ مَؤُونَةً مَانَكَ. O my son, if you wish to befriend someone, take as your friend a person who, if you serve him, protects you and preserves you. If you spend time with him, beautifies you by his company. And if you are in financial need, provides for you. Meaning, choose your friends wisely. The third thing that Imam Ghazali mentions when you're looking for a friend is salah. Someone who is upright, someone who is just, someone who does not commit major sins. The fourth thing he mentions is someone who's not a miser, someone who doesn't care about this world. Look for someone who's only worried about the hereafter. And the last thing he mentions is as-sidq. Someone who is truthful, someone you can trust. So again, when we look for our friends, for the youngsters, we look for friends, we spend our time in company of those who have these 5 qualities. And for the parents, we look at the lives of our children and we make sure they're surrounding themselves in the right company. During these 2 weeks of break, we speak to them. We spend time with them and we explain to them the dangers of bad company. We read to them the lives of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, the lives of the Anbiya alayhim salatu wasalam, and the pious scholars of the past. That is how we can connect our children to Islam, insha'Allah. If we make the effort, if we are sincere and we have a worry for our children, it is the responsibility of the parents first to worry for their children. If we have that worry and we make the effort, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala insha'Allah will protect our children. If anyone is interested in these 5 things or the book, they can visit the office, insha'Allah. I can share a copy of the book with them. Jazakumullahu khairan. Sorry for the delay. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.